Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Age of Mythology, Retold on the Mysterious JG. I think we're finally getting to a place now where we've got this mission in the bag. It's going to take a little while because of my slow play style to win it, but got a giant army of myth warriors coming. I think if I can get this thing built here and turn that into a fortress, that'll make it that much harder for anyone to actually march across. I don't know if it's worth attacking this base. It's probably not. As a matter of fact, it's probably not worth attacking any of these bases, but I think taking these two down, that'll bring it so that the attacks are all coming from one direction. Which is probably for the best. Alright, fine. I guess I'll let my army get pulled. I didn't mean for this one to get pulled. Shit. It's kind of not going the way I wanted it to because I've lost the thread a bit. So if I can get rid of this here, I've pretty much knocked out most of the opposition on this side of the river. They do have a mid-gold stronghold. That's where they've been producing all these freaking elephants from. So it'd be a good feeling to have that knocked out, actually. Good. You guys are over here mining again! And you guys crossed over. It does seem like we're going to knock this base out. I wasn't necessarily planning to do that, but it seems like I kept getting pulled into it, and finally it just happened. I mean, they certainly threw enough huge armies of elephants and priests at me. It feels completely fair to do the same back to them, but... They got a lot of towers in their base, too. I don't know where that... Oh, whatever. Jeez. I think their last couple of buildings that are producing... Yeah, like they're still producing elephants, because I think that's about all that's left. That's a market. I shouldn't care about that too much. So this one, we might not have a whole video's worth of content left. This one kind of got turned around like on me a little bit here. Alright, you Avengers can probably come over and take care of this elephant. And actually, that base that I was thinking was not worth attacking is going to last longer, I think, than their main, or than the one on the island here. Good.
A hero has
Into you. Into you.
And our hero has fallen one more time, just to make sure everybody understands how fragile heroes can be. I was building up elephants down here, wasn't I? Yeah, you guys get up here and... We need to destroy this temple. I think this is the last thing that they can produce units out of. And we really want to test and see if they're still capable of attacking, just actually start attacking the objective. We lost a lot of population and all that. I think this is it. Unless there are enemies that just spawn from nowhere because it's a story thing, which is kind of fair if that's a thing. Let's make sure they're not still trying to rebuild somewhere. One interesting thing about this game, although maybe they've changed it for Age of Mythology Retold, but you can't build town centers wherever you want. You have to build them on settlement. Which kind of has the effect of, like, there's only a certain extent to which they can, oh, we're still building stuff, sorry. Like, you know, we snuck a villager out of your big attack force, and are still actually going.
Into you.
Typically, you can't do that. So, like, if there were villagers here collecting gold, they don't, you know, they don't really have an ability to just build a new, a whole new thing. Yeah. All right, well, I'll tell you what. I think we finally got this thing won.
Kid. Into you.
I know it's silly, but I'm going to build one more of those.
Into you.
We're going to grab all our villagers now, and we're going to have them chop down the tree, because that's the plot. Cut down the tamarisk. We lost every single one of those Viking units we started with. I did not do a particularly great job taking care of that. We had a pharaoh. I kind of lost track of him for a while there, but he... A thing, because I did a little bit of reading, not much, a little bit of reading, when I was struggling so much with elephant attack waves. And that's when I became aware, not directly an answer to this question, but it turns out pharaohs will respawn. Because I had at least one effort that we just quit because pharaoh got killed, and I thought we had a permanent massive degradation of our power, but in fact, that was not correct. Oh, these guys are full of wood. I need to get a cart up here. So that's actually a thing. We didn't actually lose all of our we didn't lose all of our carts after all. Or all of our Viking units after all. The carts are a Viking unit. So we lost our Viking combat units. But it did manage to keep the 2 carts alive, which should help speed this process up at least a bit.
Kid. Antio. Jirej. Tayo. In wedge. Erifir.
Alright. So we've increased our pop limit. We've wiped out all the enemy forces. I think the correct way to do this is to, and you know, from what I saw revisiting the RTS channel that I usually check out, this mission is not super easy. It's not one that you can just, oh, speed tactics where you barely fight anything. No, it is not true. There are very large enemy forces that are hostile to you. And yeah, let's destroy these farms. Fuck them. Sorry. But you do need to, in fact, build up a fairly big army and be ready for a lot of fighting. But the idea that you would wipe out all of these bases is not typically the fastest way to do it. You're going to get up there, have production facilities up there so you can reinforce troops, and you're going to be building troops to fight off those attack waves. Let's destroy these farms because they're desperately. It is very important that we destroy these farms. Actually, let's get the whole group. The group as a whole moving this way, but I just like the idea of wiping all the red off the map as long as we're now taking our time about it, although it does appear we're going to actually chop down the tree before that happens. So we will have, after a series of really long, painful videos, we will have a short video to wrap this whole thing up. Elephants do not seem to automatically get hostile against enemy walls. They will attack towers, they will attack unit-producing buildings and houses. And farms, it seems. Walls, they won't just automatically be like, this wall must be destroyed. Well, this group is taking its time. I guess they don't usually just destroy farms either, because farms your force can take. I'm victorious, and I don't think it was for destroying that last farm. And I accidentally went to the campaign menu because I kind of forgot how that works. I thought there might be a victory screen where I saw how many units were defeated, but that doesn't happen in this game either, so I'm being silly. Alright, well that puts us more than halfway through. It's giving us a little sneak peek at the fact that we have Norse units coming. But in fact, oof, I made a big old meal out of defeating A Long Way Home. Thought like, let's go, Good Advice, Jackal Stronghold. Good Advice was kind of a little hard. Or was that the one with the... Yeah, the scenario at the end where you're playing as the bad guys in this kind of weird dream vision. That had some challenge to it, but Jackal Stronghold was one I thought was going to be hard, and it wasn't, and I think it's because on the difficulty level I'm playing at, the enemy really doesn't attack until you get on their island. But A Long Way From Home I made pretty challenging. I really didn't handle that with a whole lot of skill, but I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. I finally did learn, hey, like, I don't know if this made it on camera, if this is part of the video that got cut, but at one point I was like, all right, I'm going to build three barracks just off the path of the enemy attacks, but not right in their faces where they'll come and see and get aggroed. And because what I want to do is build up a bunch of spearmen to fight off those elephants. And then I just started grabbing every upgrade that was available. Like, I fought off one attack, and then was like, okay, let's upgrade all these different things. And didn't pump out any spearmen and paid for it. So, like, I finally evolved a bit. When I was being attacked consistently by the same enemy force over and over, priests are weak against anything that isn't myth units. One scarab doesn't really need to be specifically countered in your composition. But it was a lot of elephants, and then slingers and priests. So it was like, yeah, a few priests to keep guys healed, but it pretty much, and then I mixed it up a bit as we went, but it was pretty much, yeah, I needed spearmen. I kept not building spearmen. The other way to counter elephants is with elephants, but we waited till the end when we had like taking all the resources in the world before going mass elephant, and that was fun. And although I threw in a few Avengers at the end, we really didn't use Myth for much. Favor, we used Favor to keep doing, and this is not possible in the original Age of Mythology. This is an Age of Mythology Retold feature. We used God powers more than once and built up like those like strongholds, like turn our town center into a massively powerful defensive structure. That turned out to be a really good idea too. So we got there eventually, but it took a while. Hopefully we'll be able to watch that first step. It's a Lulu. It's not a Waka. It's a Lulu. But hopefully that first step will be the hardest, and then the steps that follow won't be quite as challenging as A Long Way From Home was. Catch you guys next time.